Right, so we are on to table 33. Really does feel like I'm getting somewhere. Only another 40 to go. Right, okay. Well, for this one, we're going to do the second Universal Classics table. So for this one, it is going to be Jaws. Now, some of you probably thinking this really doesn't sound like a very good idea for a pinball table, and you'd be right.
Single player and hot seat.
As you can see, I am currently first. That will not last very long. I'm not going to stay ahead of Blinky unless, like many, he's had enough of this table and just thought, fuck it, I do not want to play this one anymore. So here we go.
When I was a kid, every little squirt wanted to be a harpooner or a sword fisherman.
Now, let's cut to the chase. That doesn't sound anything like Robert Shaw as Quint. It doesn't look like him either. And the music is not the official Jaws theme, although it does remind me of the theme from Jaws 3, or Jaws 3D if you saw it as a 3D film. Yeah, when something reminds you of Jaws 3D, that's not a good thing. Anyway, let's get a game underway.
There's one! Hit it!
So the skill shot is to actually hit the shark fin, which you can see there. Now I have a method of getting some pretty good scores on here, but for the sake of this video I'm not going to reveal it. So well, actually I'm going to deliberately miss the skill shot this time. And yeah, what you saw there is what happens to at least 75% of the ball launches. They always end up draining down the left drain there. Now you may also be starting to think that there doesn't look like there's very much on the table. Again, you would be right. There are quite a few ramps and that, but they are very well hidden. Perhaps a bit too well, because it does make the table look extremely sparse. And even when the shark does appear,
portable shower or a monkey cage.
even when the shark does appear, it doesn't exactly take up a hell of a lot of space on the table. So the table always seems to feel very, very empty. Now, if you've seen my review of Mars, you will know that an empty table does not mean a bad, a bad table immediately. There you go, got that one. And the shark has appeared. There we go. So we get 500,000 or so every time we hit the thing. So anyway, yes, an empty table does not necessarily mean that it's going to be a bad table, but this one, well,
down you go.
It's not
You're
great.
Here for the numbers, aren't you? I'm here to catch a shark.
So I got 5.6 million for that, which is rather amazing. Anyway, let's see if I can get the skill shot.
Nice
There
shot.
we go. And this time it went straight down the fucking right. But yeah, this table,
Oh, lurking around for a while now, aren't you?
this table has some serious design issues. A huge number of times, say well over half, I think it's over 3/4 of the time, when you launch the ball, it goes straight out, and it doesn't matter how good a table is, if it keeps doing that, people are going to hate it, and with very good reason. As it is, as I say, this... Right, if all the lights were lit, then I would have been able to save it. I've never been able to get that right.
He was born with what he does best. Eat.
So, 10,428. Well, so actually not bad.
Aiming,
That was not planned, but I'll fucking take it. So as you can hear, the music is trying to sound somewhat like the classic Jaws theme, but yeah, trying to sound like it and actually being the Jaws theme, yeah, two very different things.
You sure it is a good idea sailing out in the dead of night? What's over there? What's gotten into this damn thing? Follow the flashlight. Lock the ball. You got that one locked all right?
I've never been able to get all three balls locked. I've never started a multi-ball session on here as far as I can remember.
What's gotten into this damn thing?
Wrong fucking lane. Right, we want to go. And that's going straight fucking out.
We still haven't caught the beast.
So I'm amazed I scored 18.9 million on that go. It felt like I was doing absolutely fuck all nothing. And most of the time you do score next to fuck all nothing. This is quite a low scoring table. So, well, according to this, I have started a multi-ball session, but I don't remember doing it. Oh.
Single player results.
So, yes, I wasn't even halfway to my best score there.
This ain't
Anyway.
gonna be pleasure boating or day sailing.
Right, let's get the next game underway, and let's start the review. That is what it nearly always does.
Oh, that was close.
And yeah, a lot of people detest the table for that reason. Doesn't matter about the rest of the table. In fact, that rarely gets a mention. The rest of the table is not absolutely, you know, horrendous, but it is pretty forgettable. But that issue with the ball constantly heading out of the left drain every time you launch the ball into the table is making it extremely unpopular. And when I say extremely unpopular, I'm talking, you know, V12 levels of unpopular. So yeah, it would appear that Zen, it would appear that Zen just didn't playtest this table at all.
Follow the flashlight. I see something there. Steady.
Still fucked it up. So I've never been able to get that
You're
right.
here for the numbers, aren't you?
So
I'm
I
here
can't
to
believe
catch a
I've
shot.
got 2 million.
Hit it.
And straight
Come on,
down.
Chief, it ain't that hard. You got lucky there.
So yes, the table is very empty. 2 of the ramps are hidden behind the boat. I mean, what the fuck are you supposed to do with that?
We still have
I mean, the boat certainly looks like the orca from the film.
one. Hit it.
albeit one that has shrunk. And there you go again. It's just fucking ridiculous. So anyway, graphically it looks pretty good, but there is absolutely nothing here that makes me think, yeah, this definitely needed to be a an FX3 exclusive, because it is. This table was never on FX2.
Lock the ball.
Like I say, the graphic of Quint just doesn't look fuck all like him. That's about the only real weak point in the graphics.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
As far as audio goes, yeah, he doesn't sound anything like Robert Shaw. The music is, well, it doesn't sound anything like the theme from Jaws.
I don't want no volunteers. I don't want
Occasionally it may sound vaguely like it, but that is it. The sound effects are okay.
Come on, Chief, it ain't that hard.
But yeah, again, they are rather sparse. And then, how does the table play? Not that well, because for an awful lot of the time there really isn't very much to do. Trying to get a mode started seems to take an age, and of course by the time you start one you've got so close to starting you know, other modes that you start one mode up, hit a couple of things, and then another mode starts, and then you hit one more thing and another mode starts, so they're all over the place.
To the left.
But yeah, the biggest flaw by a fucking mile is the way that the ball will, for I would go so far as to say 90%,
What are you waiting for?
will go straight down the left drain when you launch the ball into the table. So essentially you have to get the skill shot, otherwise the ball's going straight out, and I've demonstrated that perfectly.
Nothing's easy, is it? Oh, that was close.
And you know, because it is from the launch, there is absolutely fuck all you can do about it.
Well, Chief, I have to say I'm impressed. Down you go. You did good. We still haven't caught the beast. There's one. Hit it.
Let's see if I can get a skill shot this time. There we go. But, oh, fucking hell, I just about managed to get away with that. So how do I rate this one? Not very highly, to be honest. You do spend an awful long time doing hardly anything. Yeah, it fails to generate any sort of like atmosphere because it's just too quiet. I mean, I realise the film was the same, but that's just another reason as to why making a pinball table based on this film is such an unusual choice, to say the least.
He's born with what he does best: eat. We're gonna need a bigger.
And the difficulty level is stupidly high, really. whilst the frustration level is just
I remember.
off
Back
the
in day, we
scale.
didn't have all
So,
this fancy stuff.
right. So what I'll do, I'll prove to you that I'm not doing anything deliberate to start it. So we'll launch the ball and straight out. I didn't do anything at all there to, you know, it's not like I'm exaggerating it to for effect, and then you get that happen.
We still haven't caught the beast.
23,000. Fuck you, you
As a
fucking
kid,
piece of
square wanted to
cunt.
be a harpooner or a sword fisherman. There's one. Hit it.
Even then, I got the skill shot and it still
That
went
was
out.
close.
So, the table could have been okay. But no, I mean, I can't believe this was ever play tested, because surely no one at Zen play tested this and said yes, we definitely want it released like that, because that's just fucking insulting.
I'm here to catch a shark.
No, this is one of this is part of a 3-pack of tables that was supposed to get people eager to get Pinball FX3, and what they've done is, yeah, pack it with a table that has the ball just constantly going out. And like I say, I am far from the only person who hates it for you know, doing that.
Maybe I should
Yeah, I scored a 0
He didn't go to schools in
because it is unbelievably frustrating,
There's one.
and Zen, in their infinite wisdom, decided that the best thing to do was to guarantee that that frustration just goes up and up and up every time you launch the ball onto the table. You know, even before you've done anything. Did not deliberately
Still haven't caught the beast.
have those last 2 balls completely wasted like that, but they were.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
So, I mean, this one can fuck off.
Game paused.
This ain't gonna be pleasure.
Game paused. Single player
0 out of 10.
paused.
It's a fucking contemptible fucking table, and I think Zen are taking a piss. They're insulting us by releasing this fucking thing. Hey, we want people to come out and buy our brand new pinball game, our Pinball FX3, or we want people to download it and buy all the DLC. So let's put on a table that plays like this. Yeah, that's some fucking good thinking, that. So there you go, that's Jaws, 0 out of 10. It could have been a great table, but yeah, well, you've seen what the game design is like. There isn't one. It was designed by somebody who either hates pinball or hates gamers. So yeah, they can go fuck themselves. So that's Jaws done. Actually, there is one other thing to show you.
Mastery reward.
The mastery rewards, you get, rather unsurprisingly, the shark. But if we yeah, zoom out, you can recreate a scene from Jaws 3. Lucky you. Because you remember the scene towards the end where the shark is heading towards the like control center of the SeaWorld, and it ends up smashing through the glass in a display of some of the shittiest special effects ever seen on film. Well, here you can recreate that scene, because as it moves towards you, it swims at about the same speed as the shark in Jaws 3. So here we go. Yep, that's definitely as fast as it does that in Jaws 3. The thing is, of course, the shark here looks a billion times more realistic than the shark in Jaws 3 does. So, oh well. So, maybe there is something that the Jaws table does that's okay. It still gets 0 out of 10 though, because it's still a table that was designed by a cunt. Right, so that's definitely Jaws done. I'll be back with table 34 sometime or other.